Wine. Jungkook, we need to talk. He frowned as he took a seat and his driver closed the car door. Is everything alright? He asked. The driver took off and Jungkook gestured at him to be quick. No, she said as she hung up the call. Jungkook never had this unsettling feeling, not even when her father tried taking her away. And if it was something her father did, he already had plans of how to put him in his place. Or it could be something else, such as he promised her a movie night and forgot, or maybe she was on her periods. He maintained his calm till he reached his home. His long strides took him to his room to find his girlfriend sitting on the couch holding a piece of paper. Jungkook, Ryan? She looked up at him and stood up. She held the paper so tightly that it crumbled from the corner. Ryan, when were you going to tell me this? Jungkook read the contents when she turned it towards him and looked back at her. They were the papers where Ryan was accepted as an intern in the biggest hospital of Seoul. Jungkook, when the matter with your family would be solved and you would celebrate receiving these papers. Wine. Well, I guess that's never happening anymore. She crumbled the paper in a ball and threw it away. Jungkook, you can't give up this quickly. Wine. Jungkook, please. She ran her hand through her hair, holding on to them. The frustration from earlier hurting her like a storm. She knew how hard it was to return to their room and found all the medical books sprawled across the bed and the table. She remembered how till last night everything was fine. It hurt her picking up every book with the only intention to throw it away. Every book she picked up, remembering how Jungkook supported her dream more than her own self. She would be sitting in his lap, laying on him while he brushed fingers through her hair and watched her study. Sometimes, when he was in a teasing mood, he would make fun of the hard medical terms used in them, and both of them would laugh. Every memory, every dream of seeing herself in a hospital came crashing down. Her eyes teared up as she held them in and took a deep breath. Face turning red and the tiredness so visible in those eyes Jungkook meant to protect forever. Ryan, please, don't make me hold on to false hope. I'm glad I chose you and my father over my dreams. I need to move on. This is going to kill me. Her voice broke at the end and Jungkook ended the distance between them and helped her sit. He took her in his embrace and brushed fingers through her hair. Jungkook, alright, I won't anymore. Look at me, let's focus on today. We'll think about tomorrow later. He fixed her ear, turning her to look at him, and she nodded. Jungkook leaned in and kissed her eyes before any tears slipped, and the next heartful kiss landed on her forehead. Wine, I know, you are just trying to protect me, but I want you to know this is my decision. I cannot fight with my father. Losing this is much easier than losing you. Jungkook, I'll make sure you never regret this decision. I will love you so much. He hugged her tightly, hiding her in his protective arms. He was going to make her a doctor, and she would never lose any of them. He was going to make sure of that. Jungkook, let me make you dinner. She choked out, pulling away from him, her eyes wide as she looked at him, and Jungkook made a weird face at her over dramatic expressions. Ryan, you're going to cook? You never even enter the kitchen. Jungkook, you won't find a man like me in this whole world. A sarcastic forced smile, and Ryan got up following him to the kitchen. Ryan, hey, that's my dialogue. After an hour of failed cooking, burnt sausages and steak, half an hour of her teasing the hell out of his cooking skills, and another whole hour of ordering food and enjoying it, they both finally drifted off to their dreamland till the sun rose and they were out of the bed. Wine, I won't stay today. I think I should go home. Mom must be worried. She sat on her bed, watching her boyfriend getting ready for his office. Jungkook simply nodded and fixed his shirt. Jungkook, I will drop you off. When Wine returned home, her father had left for office already. She spent the day with her mother, who apologized to her several times, even when she had not done anything wrong. The two went out for a mother daughter outing, had their shopping and spa time till her mother received a text from her husband, who was unaware that Wyan had returned home. Call Wyan and Jungkook over for dinner. Wyan's mother was at least happy about the fact he accepted her daughter and her boyfriend and was now ready to welcome them properly. Wyan, I was never this nervous even when I brought Jungkook to meet you too. She said breathless as she helped her mother setting the table. On her mother's request, they set the table in garden for a change of theme. A mother's thing. Ryan's mother, it's going to be okay now. Don't worry that much. Oh, look who is here. She beamed as her eyes fell on the young gentleman who just entered the garden. The maid must have opened the door. Ryan turned towards Jungkook and smiled and halfway got jealous when the man walked towards her mother first and showered her with flowers. He came towards her next, and before she could complain, he had his lips on her, stealing all the complaints away. He looked so handsome clad in a formal evening outfit and hair parted revealing his forehead. She could drown in those beauty and would never even want to be saved. Jungkook. Hi, princess. Ryan's mother. Okay, lovebirds, till your father and your father-in-law returns. How about we have a coffee? Wine. Wow, we're jumping to coffee from wine straight. They all sat down and had so much fun, cracking jokes and teasing each other. It seemed like a happy family already, till Wine tensed up when her father returned and was now sitting across her. The elder looked at Jungkook once, only he knew the look hidden behind those all easy expressions. Wine's father, I received a mail this morning that my daughter was selected as an intern in Asan Medical Center. It was only the silence he received in answer, with a simple nod of head from Wine. Wine's father, do you really want to become a doctor? Wine, Dad, why are you bringing this in? I told you I will take over the business. You don't have to worry about what I want. Wine's father, I've thought about it. You could have leave me or him for your dreams, and you haven't. You must have worked hard to get selected in there. You don't have to take over the business. Go and fulfill your dreams. Become a doctor. I better see you in the court one day. Junko couldn't care less how fake and molded her father sounded. His focus remained on Ryan and the way her eyes widened up, hands tightening around the fork, trying to take in his words. Ryan, do you mean it? A simple nod of head from the other lit stars of happiness in those eyes Junko fell in love with. The way her eyes found his before anything to confirm it, to share the happiness with him first, and he had to act like he didn't know it either. Jungkook, great, hey, congrats. He chuckled as she hugged him tightly before getting off the chair and rushing to her father's side. Jungkook didn't need her to know it was his doing, as long as she was happy and protected. Vine hugged her father from behind and thanked him several times before receiving a kiss on her cheek from her mother. A happy family reunion. Jungkook stayed there and watched how she shone like galaxies resided in her, the version of Vine he loved the most. He stayed by her side the whole night, When she returned home, she was so excited when she took the books out of the closet, and the two laughed because she acted like she threw them away. She felt so lighthearted, and this is all Jungkook needed to see to finally focus on the work that piled up for him in his own business. He would pick her up at off time from hospital, and she would complain about how tiring it is, but she loves every second of it. He was there when she took every step closer to her dream, and she couldn't respect him enough for that. The end.